Welcome to this anti-aging lesson, and this is one of my favorite lessons because it's going to be one of the most useful lessons you'll ever learn. In this lesson, I'm going to share with you what I have learned in my 2 decades in this makeup industry, and what you'll get is learn how to look radiant, rested, and youthful. So these patches are jam-packed with one of my favorite ingredients called hyaluronic acid. And when you put this on, it strategically aims and arrows in on areas that I find are the weakest because the skin around the eyes age first. That's where you get your wrinkles and your eye bags and discoloration. When you put something like this on and you leave it on for just 10 minutes, which means, you can get your hair done, you can decide what clothes you want to wear before you go out, or maybe, try some shoes. This will actually start to work, plump up your skin, give you radiance under your eyes so that you need to use less product. So this is great to fake 8 hours of sleep, or if you've been interrupted by your child or your baby through the night, this is a great cheat way to get that back and look amazing in under 10 minutes flat. Before you start, you really should clean your face with a little micellar water because it's gentle. It just takes away all the impurities. You don't want any germs in your face. So I like to use a hydrating mist like this. Before you apply any cream or lotion or serum, this is what I do. Because what you want to do is to pack and make sure you trap the moisture into your skin with the moisturizer or the cream. Then I'm just going to use the cream. So just a little bit, rub it together, and we're just going to pat it in. Take your time to pat it in, and don't forget to just let it sit for a bit. Do not rush this process. And for those with puffy eyes, it's great to just use your fingers and just tap it right through to get rid of any puffiness. And as a rule of thumb, you should really never drag your fingers across your eyes because that would just sort of speed up the aging process by just dragging your skin. So I've always just tap it on like that. As we grow older, we lose our luminosity, our radiance, and we like to really reintroduce that back into your beauty regime. There are lots of luminizers and creams that's in the market. So it depends on whether you have, like a medium to olive skin, or if you're really fair in alabaster, I would use something with a pink base, or if not, we use something with a gold base. So start with a little bit. So what this kind of lotion, what they do is they sort of diffuse the light, make the surface of the skin look a little bit more even. If there's any pigmentation or any wrinkles or unevenness, this is a really great way to diffuse it without using any pigments to conceal it. A lot of girls ask me, how do I apply creams and how do I, blend it in and all that? You can use a brush, you can use a sponge, but think about it. If you use a sponge, 50% of the products actually get absorbed into it, and you're paying a lot of money. My favorite technique is to use fingers, of course, because it warms up the face. It gives your face a little massage. Girls, I like to remind you that I have not even put a single pigment on her face yet. It's all creams. And don't you agree she looks amazing already? Now, when you're not a teenager anymore, you have to be a little bit more savvy when it comes to foundation. So I'm gonna use a long wear foundation because, at our age, we've got no time to keep looking in the mirror, and we want to put something on, we get out the door, and we take over the world. So we're going to choose a makeup that has a light to medium coverage because a little bit of coverage is good. So you can see immediately with one eye, I've just done one side, it already lifts the face off. I haven't even put foundation on any part of the face other than under the eye area. And I want you to notice as I go through the steps that, her face is just gonna look more and more radiant and more youthful. So every step counts, so pay attention. A little on the eyelid as well, just a little bit, right? Not too much product. One of my favorite techniques is to apply the color under your eyes like this and then drag it down to the side of your nose. Because what happens is that it gives you that flat, luminous highlight. We want to keep the triangle of the face as flat as possible and the side of the face as 3-dimensional as possible. Don't forget, side of the nose, side of the mouth, and a little bit on the chin. Don't forget to get right into the inner corners of your eyes. That's where most girls, they're quite dark in there, most people. They're quite dark in here. I call it the cave. Let's just get in there and then sweep it right across. Remember that your skin needs to have different shades, different layers, different luminosity because it just makes it more interesting and more three-dimensional. Now, girls, to look younger, we want to have a spotlight on our face. This is your best friend. Why it's great? Because it has luminous particles in it. Wherever you put your wand on, it looks like there's a spotlight on it, and it lifts up any shadows, bags, any heaviness. It really brings your face to life. And usually, I would use a shade, just a shade lighter, not totally white, because if you use something that's totally white, what you're gonna get is a reverse raccoon kind of look, and that's not good. I'm just gonna work with the back of my hands. I like to put product at the back of my hands. Why? Because it warms up the product. It gets it ready for maximum blendability when it hits the actual face. So I put it here, you take your time and you have fun, and you just paint away areas that you don't want. Down here like this. And a lot of girls don't do this, but I like to put it here to lift up the mouth area. Then you go in with your fingers and you press blend it. Remember, don't drag your fingers along because that would just really age the skin. Now that you've done this work of art and you spend time on skincare and then put a little makeup on, you are almost ready to get out the door. I'm gonna set it with some powder. Be selective on what kind of powder you use. Look for a powder with skincare benefits. This one has hyaluronic acid. And you know the magic of hyaluronic acid is that 1 gram of hyaluronic acid can absorb up to 1,000 times its body weight in moisture. Think about that. So you look at this, it's great. It has no pigment at all. It's really light. I use a small brush because I want to do precision powdering. Glowy skin is amazing, but when you want to go out and probably take a selfie or a photo somewhere during the day, if you look at these shine areas, they're really pretty in real life, but they don't register as well in photographs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm gonna matte them, and onto the side of the face, I'm gonna leave them. So you get that three-dimensional effect. And I'm just going to go under the eye, give it a light sweep, a little over your lid, along the forehead, and along the hairline. The tip of the nose, like the nostril. It's okay for here to be shiny, but the side of the nose and the tip of the nose should always be matte. And a little bit on the chin. So you notice that I have not touched the outside of the face other than the hairline. And if you could turn, you could still have a bit of shine and a bit of matte. Just to finish up, you don't even need to do this, but something to lift your eyes and make them brighter and wider is to use my favorite friend. It looks scary, but if you invest in a good pair of eyelash curler, it won't pinch your eyelids or pull out your lashes. Drag it along the shaft of the eyelash and then squeeze one more time. And then at the tip, we're gonna squeeze the last time, like this. So you can see that the eyelashes are beautifully lifted between the two eyes. And that means that your eyes look brighter and wider, and that's a special trick. You don't even need to use mascara. And finally, some brow fashion. We're just gonna use a regular toothbrush. Brush your brows up 45 degrees to the temples, like this. And remember, when your brow hairs are lifted like this, it sort of gives an illusion that it's all lifted. So when you wanna think anti-aging, think up, right? So eyelashes up, eyebrows up, everything up.